Hey, sports fans. This is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes. I wanted to jump on real quick this morning before College Game Day came on and talk about what the 12-team playoff would look like today if those teams that's in the AP Top 25 were to play in the 12-team playoff, if it was going to happen today based on the rankings that we have today. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the two games that took place, well, three games that took place over the past 2 days. Of course, on Thursday, we had Texas State and Arizona State. That was a very, very good game. And that game showed us that there are some group of five teams out there that can compete with some of, I guess you could say, lower power four teams, because that game really went down to the wire, and Arizona State won that game um, 31-28. And the quarterback for Texas State, he played really, really well. But I think the running game of Arizona State is what really helped them pull out that game, because Arizona State has a very, very solid running back on their team. I forgot his last name, but it'll come to me probably later on in this video. I was also shocked that Kansas lost to UNLV. Now, if you watched any of my earlier videos, when I first started making videos back in July, early August, I picked Kansas to be one of the top teams in the Big 12 because they were returning a lot of talent, one of the best running backs in college football in Devin Neal and Jalon Daniels at the quarterback position. I really thought that those two would make things happen, but they lost to UNLV yesterday. It was good to see Jalen Catalon get another interception. I think he has 3 interceptions on the season already. Who formerly played for Arkansas and played a year at Texas. And he also was, kind of hurt at Texas and didn't really get to show all of his skill set. But he's really balling out for UNLV. And they pulled out that win against Kansas yesterday, which was a really, really good game. And it was good to see that UNLV, another group of 5 team, beat what I thought was one of the better Big 12 teams and one of the better Power 4 teams in Kansas. But they beat Kansas yesterday. And the other game was Kansas State and Arizona. I really thought this was going to be a close game because Arizona has a really, really, really good I thought they had a really good defense. But they got it laid on them in Manhattan, Kansas yesterday. Kansas State beat up on them 31-7. And the spread in that game was 7 points. And they went on to beat them by 24 points. They really put it on Arizona in Manhattan, which I said earlier that when you got to travel to Manhattan, Kansas, you're going to get everything they got. And you coming out of that Manhattan, Kansas with a win is something that doesn't happen a lot. I know Texas was able to go on a 4 or 5 game win streak in Manhattan at Kansas State against some very good Kansas State teams. But it doesn't happen too often because before that, they were whipping up on Texas in Manhattan, Kansas. It was one of the places that I hated for Texas that had to travel to play there, and Iowa State. Those 2 places just gave Texas fits. But I wanted to talk about that before I get into this 12-team playoff with the teams that are in the AP top 25. So if we look at the AP top 25, these are the 12 teams who would make the playoffs if the playoffs started today. At number 12, we got Northern Illinois. They are the group of 5 team that is ranked the highest as of today in the AP Top 25, and they are ranked, I believe, number 25 or 24 in the AP Top 25. Number 11 would be Oregon. And although Oregon is ranked the third highest in the Big Ten right now, they would be ranked number 11 based on what the layout would be for the 12-team playoffs. So we got at number 12, we got Northern Illinois. And at number 11 right now, according to the AP Top 25, we would have Oregon. At number 10, it would be Penn State. At number 9, it would be Tennessee. At number 8, it would be Missouri. At number 7, it would be Ole Miss. At number 6, it would be Alabama. At number 5, it would be Texas. So our top 4 would be all of the teams in each of the Power 4 conferences who will have the highest ranking in their conference. So at number 4, representing the Big 12, it would be Utah because they are ranked the highest out of all the Big 12 teams. So it would be Utah at number 4. At number 3, it would be Miami because they're ranked higher than all the other ACC teams in the top 25, but they're not ranked higher than the 2 teams that I'm about to mention. At 2 is Ohio State, and at 1 it would be Georgia, because according to the AP Top 25, these teams are the highest ranked teams according to their conference. And I know some people are probably out there saying, well, man, that look kind of crazy. Yeah, it does look kind of crazy, but that's the way it will fall if the playoffs was to come today. So if you look at that, you got 6 teams from the SEC right now that would be in the college football playoff. 6 teams. You would have 3 teams from the Big Ten. Then you would have 1 team from the ACC, 1 team from the Big 12, and then you would have 1 group of 5 team, which was Northern Illinois. So if they played today, and that tournament started today, your number 12 seed would play Texas at number 5. So it would be Texas against Northern Illinois, and Northern Illinois would have to travel to Austin to play the Longhorns in that game, that 5-12 matchup. The 8-9 matchup would be Missouri and Tennessee, the 8-9 seeds. And the winner of the 8-9 seed will play the number 1 seed. The winner of that 5-12 seed between Texas and Northern Illinois will play the 4th seed, which is Utah. The 7 and 10 game is Ole Miss and Penn State. And the winner of that one will play number 2, Ohio State. And if you look at the 6 and 11 game, it would be Alabama against Oregon. And the winner of that Alabama and Oregon game would play Miami, the number 3 seed. That's how that playoff would look after the first round. And if I had to pick these, I would say that, I don't know, this would be a tough one, that 8-9 game between Missouri and Tennessee. I'm going to have to think about that one for a minute. But I would definitely pick Texas to beat Northern Illinois. I would pick Ole Miss to beat Penn State. And I would pick Alabama to beat Oregon if the college football playoff started today. Now, this 8-9 game between Missouri and Tennessee, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. That's really almost a coin flip in that game. Let me check real quick. All right. So I think I would go, because this game would be in Missouri. I'm going to go with Missouri to win that game because of home field advantage. I'm going to go with Missouri. So now we have Missouri, the 8th seed, playing number 1 seed Georgia. Utah, the 4th seed, playing Texas. And then we got Ole Miss playing the number 2 seed, Ohio State Buckeyes. And then we have the 3 seed Miami Hurricanes playing Alabama. Man, those are some pretty good matchups. So let's start with the 4-5 seed. Utah playing Texas. So at this point, Georgia would have the first option to pick what bowl game they wanted to play in. Whether they wanted to go all the way out west and play in the Rose Bowl, whether they wanted to go out west and play in the Fiesta Bowl, whether they wanted to go, I think, to Miami and play in the Orange Bowl, or if they wanted to go, I think Louisiana is where the Sugar Bowl is at, if it's not in Georgia. I don't know. It's either in Louisiana or in Georgia, that Sugar Bowl. I'm almost certain that they would probably pick to go to Louisiana if that's where the Sugar Bowl is. I think they would pick the Sugar Bowl over. But then again, they might want to make Miami have to go somewhere, even though they're not on the same side with Miami. It just depends on what their thoughts are. But I would think that Georgia would pick the Sugar Bowl to go there and play their bowl game against Missouri if we had the 12-team playoff today. And I would think Utah would probably want to be out west, so they would probably pick the Fiesta Bowl in Tempe, Arizona. I'm quite sure that's probably where they would go. And then Ohio State will probably tell Miami, listen, you're going to have to go no, you know what? I think Ohio State probably would make Ole Miss travel all the way out to the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all, and play in the Rose Bowl. And then I think that Miami will get a home game against Alabama in the Orange Bowl. I think that's how those bowls go. And then after those games are played, I believe Georgia will beat Missouri. So I got Georgia in the Final Four. I'm certain that Texas will probably demolish Utah. And then we got Ole Miss against Ohio State. Wow, that would be a great matchup. Ole Miss will really test Ohio State's offense. They would test Ohio State's offense to no end. But I don't think Ole Miss's defense will be able to slow down Ohio State's offense. So I'm going to take Ohio State in that game to make it to the Final Four. Miami and Alabama, and Miami will probably be playing a home game in the Orange Bowl. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. But I'm going to pick Miami to beat Alabama because I don't think Alabama will have the weapons to be able to beat Miami in Miami. So I'm taking Miami. So our Final Four, if the college football playoff started today based on the AP Top 25, our Final Four would be Georgia against Texas, Ohio State against Miami. This means if this was to play out like I'm saying right now, this would be Texas and Georgia's probably third time playing each other. Regular season, SEC championship game, now again in the college football playoff. And that scenario can happen. So I don't want anybody to think, oh, man, that's crazy. Ain't nobody going to play 3 times in one season. Yes, it could happen. It could happen. So I'm picking Texas to beat Georgia and make it to the championship game. That's a homer pick because I'm a Texas Longhorn fan, as you can see. I'm going to pick the homer pick, and I'm going to pick Texas because that's what I want to happen. I want them to be in the championship game. And I'm picking Ohio State to beat Miami in that game. So I'm picking Ohio State and Texas to be in the championship game. Now listen, Ohio State and Texas play next year. They play the next 2 years, home and home. Texas is going to come to Ohio State next year in 2025, and then Ohio State is going to travel to Austin to play the Longhorns in 2026. And if you follow Texas like I do, Texas don't shy away from nobody. They don't. If you go check their history, they played Alabama home and home. They had a schedule with Georgia home and home. They just played Michigan. They got a home and home with Michigan. They'll play Michigan again in 2027. And so on and so forth. I think they even got a home and home set up with USC after that, back in 28, 29. Texas doesn't shy away from playing any other upper echelon teams in the country. They want you on their non-con schedule. So no one can ever say that Texas ever schedules cupcakes, because they don't. And now they're in the SEC and they still keeping those same schedules. They still going to play Ohio State. They still going to play Michigan. They even play Georgia again next year. So they play Ohio State and Georgia just like they play Michigan and Georgia this year. Texas ain't running away from nobody. We want all the smoke, because if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And that's what Texas got on their schedule. But in this game, Texas against Ohio State in the 12-team playoff championship game, I'm picking my Longhorns to be champions. I have not had a national championship since Vince Young did it against the USC Trojans, which I know my nephew, he upset about that win. So he's always doing the horns down because Texas beat his USC Trojans. But it's cool, nephew. Y'all might get some comeback later on sometime. But I'm picking Texas to beat Ohio State in the national championship if we go based on the AP top 25 that we have right now, which that's how those teams would fall based on those rankings, which is really very interesting, which we know it's not going to be 6 SEC teams. It could possibly be 3 Big Ten teams, though, and it could possibly be 3 SEC teams. But after it's all said and done, it's looking like we're only going to get 1 ACC team, and it's looking like we're only going to get 1 Big 12 team. I don't know if anybody else is going to be able to get up in there. It's going to be tough because they are not faring well so far. You know, when you look at the Big Ten, you got Ohio State that's undefeated. You got Oregon that's still undefeated. You got USC that's still undefeated. You got Penn State that's still undefeated. And all those 4 teams, they don't really play each other. So any 3 combination of them could come out of the Big Ten. And then when you look at the SEC, you got Georgia that's undefeated. You got Georgia that's undefeated. Let me level up Sports 10 in real quick. You got Georgia that's undefeated. You got Texas that's undefeated. You got Ole Miss that's undefeated. You got Missouri that's undefeated. You got Alabama that's undefeated. You got all of these undefeated teams in the SEC. And some of them play each other, some of them don't. So they have really good odds of getting 3 teams into the college football playoff. When you look at the ACC, you got Miami, I believe, that's undefeated. Boston College, I think, is still undefeated. Syracuse is still undefeated. That might be Duke is still undefeated. So you just never know. They might be able to get 2 teams in there. They might be able to get 2. And then you got the Big 12, who you got Kansas State, you got Oklahoma State, you got Utah. But I really feel like I think Arizona State might still be undefeated too. But when you look at those teams, they're probably not going to get more than 2 in to the college football playoff. It's just not going, probably not going to happen for them because, like you said, like we saw yesterday, Kansas State beat up on Arizona. The Arizona team that I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
And Kansas ended up losing to UNLV. You know, I never thought that Kansas. I thought Kansas was going to be at least 10-2 this season. I didn't think they would be 9-3. I picked them to be 10-2. But you see where they're, and then you got Utah, who Cam Rising cannot stay healthy. So I really don't think that he's going to be able to lead that team to a championship in the Big 12 because he just doesn't stay healthy enough. And they're going to take some L's once they get in the Big 12. If he doesn't play, they're taking some L's. Level Up Sports 10, how you feeling, bro?
Pretty good, pretty good. Good morning. Thanks for having me, WTP Sports.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to run down, like if we took the AP top 25 right now, these are the 12 teams who would be in the playoffs and the positions that they would be in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick their teams in the chat. So at number 12, we would have Northern
Iowa.
Is it Northern Illinois?
Northern, let me pull it up real quick, show it you.
We have Northern Illinois. I think they're 25 or 24 or 25. And then number 11, we would have Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 10, we would have Penn State. And then number 9 would be Tennessee. And then number 8 would be Missouri. And then number 7 would be Ole Miss. And then number 6 would be Alabama.
Alabama, Tuscaloosa. Man, SEC is in here, heavy.
Heavy. Then number 5, because they're not ranked higher than Georgia, would be Texas.
That's crazy. Because we was talking about that too.
Yeah. And then number 4 would be Utah because they're the highest ranked Big 12 team.
Kansas State definitely going to have something to say this season after that debacle Arizona had last night.
Right. And number 3 would be Miami. Number 3 would be Miami.
What up, fellas?
What's going on,
What's going on? Good?
Chilling, yes, sir. Top of the morning.
You over there looking like prime time,
looking
bro.
Like Coach
Prime. Hey, my Buckeyes don't play today. My Buckeyes don't play today, so I can rock with Colorado today.
Loving that. I'm loving that.
Yeah.
Number 3 would be Miami. Oh, let me get it on there. Would be Miami. Number 2 would be Ohio State.
And Georgia.
And then number 1 would be Georgia.
Give me a second, y'all.
So we got 12.
You got Northern Illinois, Oregon, Penn
7,
State.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. So soon as T1 get back, we're gonna look at those matchups. So the first one will be, we're gonna do the 8-9 matchup, what would be Missouri. No, it would be Tennessee at Missouri.
Mm. No, I'm not sure. Yeah,
So while we're waiting on him, Mossberg, what do you think about that Tennessee and Missouri game?
That Tennessee and Missouri game would definitely be a good one. And I know Missouri is a team we've talked about over the past for the first few weeks, and with that scheduling, seemed quite friendly on their behalf. If they could get the wins, I'm gonna take Missouri in a close one. But that 8-9, that's a definite. That'll be a classic SEC game right there with Tennessee and Missouri. Definitely at Missouri, but I take Missouri on the win with the strength of how they're starting off the season, and that schedule look, like I said, look pretty friendly for them in a way that I think that they can handle compared to some of the other SEC teams.
I feel you on that. T.Y., so we ran down the AP top 25. If we started the college football playoff today, these are the 12 teams that would be in there. I'm going to run them down for you real quick, and then I'm going to show you the games that are going to be played as they will be played according to the format. So at number 12, say it again.
I said, sounds good.
Okay, cool. At number 12, the highest ranked group of 5 team right now in the top 25 is Northern Illinois. So they would be number 12. Number 11 would be Oregon. Number 10 would be Penn State. Number 9 would be Tennessee. Number 8 would be Missouri. Number 7 would be Ole Miss. Number 6 would be Alabama. Number 5 would be Texas. Utah would be number 4 as the highest ranked Big 12 team. Miami would be 3 as the highest ranked ACC team. Ohio State would be 2 as the highest ranked Big 10 team. And Georgia would be number 1 as the highest ranked SEC team. So the first game we got up is Tennessee at Missouri. Level Up Sports 10 already gave us his thoughts. What's your thoughts on that Tennessee and Missouri matchup at 8 and 9?
I have to be honest, I really don't know a whole lot about Tennessee or Missouri. So, and it is still early in the season. So, and that's in Missouri?
It's in Missouri.
In Missouri. So I'll probably have to go with the home team.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I said, I just got to go with the home team.
Yeah, that home field advantage just might kick in.
Right.
Great.
Yeah. So the next one is the 7-10 matchup, Penn State at Ole Miss.
Sound like another good banger to me. With Penn State at Ole Miss, I believe Penn State will be able to go down there and put some work in. Game 13. I'll take the Big 10 on that one.
Okay. What's your thoughts on that one, Level Up Sports 10?
I feel like in this situation, it'll be Penn State being in the situation before being there and proving themselves. So I feel they could go to Ole Miss, and Ole Miss being one of them teams early in the season, they could look like they looking now. And they come to that point when they got to play, when it count, even through a season like we have. And I feel like Penn State could be that team that's been there before. And that coach, he knows how to get them boys going, especially in a big game like that. Big 10 SEC. I'm going to take the Big 10 on this one.
I don't know if y'all have ever seen that environment in Ole Miss. But
Yeah,
bro,
it's crazy.
it
It's
is
crazy different.
nuts.
It's
It
crazy.
is nuts.
Penn
So that's
State, we used to that though.
yeah,
We used to noise.
I feel you. I'm only picking Ole Miss because I think that environment and them having a
Home
high
field.
power.
So you're going with home field again.
I got to go with home field because their offense is legit. Now, defensively, I don't know what they're going to be like, but offensively, I know they can put some points up, and they might be able to outrun Penn State. So I'm picking a home team on that one. The next one, we got the 6-10 matchup, Oregon at Alabama.
Mm. That's an easy one right now, early right now, Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Milrow and them Crimson Tide boys gonna run that ball down them Ducks' throat, quack, quack, Mr. Ducksworth. And I'll take Bama. If everything is clicking in the right way for Bama, man, you never know. They could come out and put up 40, man. With Milrow and that offense clicking and the defense stepping up, Alabama is a team for me to watch this year because they slowly but surely just winning week by week. Last week was a tough one, but they came out and put up 49 in that second half to end the game. So I'm gonna definitely take Alabama in this one.
Okay. I'm picking Alabama too because I just don't see Oregon being able to stop that run game, man. We already know they got run game woes, so I don't see them being able to do nothing with that. And the next game is Northern Illinois at them Longhorns. I know that's a real easy one right there.
Right.
Hope Notre Dame don't don't send them no footage. But nah, Texas easy, man. Texas in a landslide blowout.
Texas
Get
easy.
Arch Manning in that game and let that boy continue his little backup duties as he can.
Yeah, I can see that too. I think it's a landslide. It's a tune-up.
Yeah.
You can rest a lot of guys.
Yeah, should be anyway.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to go to that 8-1 matchup, which will be Georgia. Now let me ask y'all this first before we say that. So Georgia will get the pick between the Sugar Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, and the Rose Bowl. Where do you think Georgia will probably go?
Going to the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, Sugar Bowl.
Now let me ask y'all this because I wasn't sure. Is the Sugar Bowl, is that in Georgia or is that in Louisiana?
That's in Atlanta, right?
Atlanta. Yep, Atlanta.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, it should be in Atlanta for that Georgia.
What bowl is in Louisiana?
That was the
New Orleans.
You might be thinking about the Sugar, because the Sugar Bowl is in Dallas, right? Or is that what's in?
That's the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. So the Sugar Bowl is in Louisiana.
I think it's in Louisiana. Yeah.
Yeah, in New Orleans.
In New Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you think they would pick that one?
No, I think they stay at home in Georgia.
Okay, what bowl is in Georgia then?
That's the because we did say sugar, didn't we?
Yeah. I was confused on it too. I don't know if it's in Louisiana or if it's in Atlanta.
Look, I was gonna say Peach Bowl, but I know the Peach Bowl in the Final Four because you got the Rose, Sugar, Orange, and what else? Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Orange Bowl, and Fiesta Bowl. Those are the four. So I don't know. They might say Miami.
You got Fiesta Bowl, Peach Bowl, Rose Bowl, and Sugar Bowl.
Oh yeah, so Peach Bowl.
Oh, that's what it is. It's the Peach Bowl?
Peach Bowl's in Georgia, so they stay home.
To the beach. Okay. Say those bowls again, Mossberg, so I know them again.
Fiesta Bowl, Peach Bowl, Rose Bowl, and Sugar Bowl.
Okay.
The Peach Bowl is at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Yep, that's it.
Okay, so that's what we got there. We got Georgia there then.
Yeah.
Okay. So the number 2 team is Ohio State. What do you think they picking?
They going to the Rose Bowl.
You said the Rose Bowl?
I think they'd go there because that's where, I don't know, they seem to have a great turnout, man. And, that's what was the biggest game to get to then, for them. So I think it'll be like a match made in heaven for them to get that choice to be in that Rose Bowl.
Yeah, because that's our top bowl game that, throughout our history that we've been wanting to get to and going to, and they just unveiled a Archie Griffin statue out there, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, I picked them to go to the Rose Bowl as well. The granddaddy of them all. That's a place that they're familiar with. Okay. So Miami will get that next pick between the Fiesta and the Sugar Bowl. Where do you think Miami going?
I think Miami going Fiesta.
Georgia? You think they'll go to the Fiesta? You think they want to travel that far to go all the way to Arizona or supposed to go?
No, my bad. Fiesta. Yeah, you're right. The Sugar Bowl. The Sugar. You're right. The Sugar. I was looking at them different. You're right. The Sugar Bowl.
And then, of course, Utah would pick that last one, which would be the Fiesta Bowl, which is much closer to them, too. So I'm quite sure that's what they would do, too. All right, so we got that settled. Who y'all got between Missouri and Georgia?
Georgia.
Definitely, I'm gonna go with that as well. With Georgia, just feel like that they'll be. I mean, they look exactly like the part, man, so far this season, and I think that'll be a tough task for Georgia to go against, especially with that home crowd. Georgia these past few years, Georgia with a victory, at least 10 points.
Okay, yeah, I definitely got Georgia too. So this next one, we're gonna go. It'll either be Penn State or Ole Miss versus Ohio State. I think we all clear on who's gonna win that one.
Yeah, Ohio State.
Trying to get to that Rose Bowl and get another one. OSU. I don't know. I think at this point in the season, do they play each other this year? Penn State, Ohio State.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Ohio State, and even at this point in the season, I've been watching them, and as we are fans as well. I know I picked +10 on Georgia, Missouri. I'm gonna say Ohio State +13 over Penn State in that game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm changing my pick, and like if it was to be like that, and Ole Miss at the crib, so I will see Ohio State and Ole Miss, and I will see Ohio State come out victorious in the Rose Bowl against Ole Miss.
Definitely.
Yeah, I got Ohio State beating either one of them, whether it be Penn State or whether it be Ole Miss. I got Ohio State beating both of them. Of them. So the next one would be Alabama versus Miami.
Right now, that'd be a big banger. Give me if Miami keep going, give me Miami.
What you think about that one, Level Up Sports Team?
And that's a tough call. I'm sticking with my ACC. That's like you go at your conference on this one. I know it's a tough game. I'm gonna pick Miami in a very close game. I just like what I've been seeing out of Miami, and I slipped up and went against them in the ACC this year, but they're definitely the team I feel they to beat. And at this point, I feel like they could get Alabama too. Right.
I'm gonna hope that Miami win that game too. I want to see Miami get back up in there, man, again and make some stuff happen. The next one is Texas versus Utah.
Texas.
Yeah. That remember when I was talking about that 5th seed, man. Listen, that 5th seed. It's gonna, man.
It's gonna be a banger.
That 5th seed is
almost got a cakewalk, man.
Yeah.
You almost got a cakewalk.
You said say what's that matchup again?
It's Texas. It's Texas against Utah.
Yeah, I said Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. What I'm saying is that fifth seed, whoever get that fifth seed,
They're gonna be
probably
scared.
gonna play the champion of the Big 12, which is lower than the champion of the ACC, the Big 10, or the SEC.
Right.
Right? You gonna get that 12th seed, who you already know that's gonna probably be somebody that's not that good.
Right.
And then you won't have a hard game until you meet the number 1 seed, which will be probably Georgia or Ohio State or Texas or one of them teams.
Right.
Right.
So you got a pretty easy road when you get that 5th seed, man. In my opinion.
Yeah, it definitely looked like that. The 5th seed could be a scary team.
Yeah. All right. So then we'll have Final Four. We got Miami versus Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be another classic. It's gonna be a banger right there. Hey, I almost got in some trouble in Miami one time, man. Just walking down the Ave with my Ohio State stuff on, man. And big dude rolled by in the suburb. Like, hey yo, you know where you at? You might want to go take that off.
Man.
So guess what? I went and took it off. Because, it was a lot of people lost a lot of money on that game, man.
Oh yeah.
And, I went and took it off. Wasn't no pride involved or nothing. He just sounded like he might have been one of the ones or one of the homies that was a little crazier than him. Like, shoot, if June would have saw you in that, buddy, you might have been in trouble. He lost 100. He lost 200. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I went and took it off, and I kept my hat on, but I took the shirt off and went on about my business.
Oh, that's wisdom, bro. That's wisdom right there.
That's all that is, man. Definitely.
Yeah. But I'm taking Ohio State once again. It's on. I don't think that Miami defense going to be enough. Our defense will be enough to stop them a time or two. But I don't think that Miami defense going to be enough for what we have, man. As long as we stay healthy.
Yeah, I think I would pick Ohio State to win that too. Just top to bottom, I just think they got more talent, more weapons, top to bottom.
Yeah.
I would pick Ohio State to win that one.
And we supposedly paid for our team. We ain't do nothing but what the law allows. So
doing everything the right
and
way.
we're supposed to be we're supposed to be there, supposed to win it. So
Sure.
that's the attitude from the fans as well as the players.
Like I feel the same way, man. Like just being a fan of the game, I've never seen this much buzz around the city when it comes to the Buckeyes, man. It's been a while. I mean, the buzz is there every year, but the way the fans is talking this year and just you go around the city is different. Even going down on campus, I go down there for my doctor's appointment. It's just a different feeling, around the city. And I feel like they have that team, each level, every position, freshman, senior, they getting after it. And I think it's going to all come to play in these games in the playoffs. And I think it'll be Ohio State with the victory for sure.
Yeah, I got the Bucks too. So our next Final Four is Texas versus Georgia.
I'm going Longhorns. I just feel like Texas got the complete. When I look at the SEC top to bottom, Georgia is Georgia. We know what Georgia's had over the past few years. We know they reload, but I've been watching Texas this year, and the one thing that stands out to me is for you not to have two All-American running backs. They still running that ball. For them to lose the pieces they've lost on the offensive side and defensive side, you would not be able to tell. They keep that motor rolling. And you got two quarterbacks, man. And I know they've been talking a lot about wanting to see Arch. You're gonna see Arch. Texas is gonna put something on Georgia in this game, and I think people gonna see what's to come with Arch Manning, and it's gonna set it up for the OSU Texas game.
Okay.
Sound about right.
it's a possibility that Texas and Georgia can play 3 times. Regular
Oh, yeah.
season's already set. They can meet at a SEC championship game, and then they could possibly meet in the playoff. Man, that's crazy. 3 times.
That's crazy. 3 times, man.
Wow.
So then we got Texas versus Ohio State for the championship. Oh man, what that do? Something jumped up on the screen. Texas versus Ohio State for the championship.
That'll be nice.
That would be
That'll
nice.
be nice. That'll be
What's wild
real
about that
nice.
is they both play. They will play. Like say if they play in the championship game, then the next year they play. I think either the first or second game of the season, and then the season after that they play the first or second game of the season.
Yeah.
So 3 Ohio State and Texas matchups, man, that would be off the chain.
And with yours being a former Buckeye and still having a little bit of that Buckeye in his heart, that'd be beautiful, even for him. But I see Ohio State completing the mission.
I could definitely see that. Definitely.
But it will be fun. It will be fun. I'll be happy with that. I'll be happy with a nice, good, close game that we come out on top by 6 or something, 3, 4, whatever, 2, 1. Whatever. Just you were throwing it all around out there. You know what I mean? Couple picks.
It'll be
Which would be the difference.
Yeah, it'll be a heck of a chess match, man. It will be a heck of a chess match.
I just thought about I thought about that Fiesta Bowl from when Colt McCoy. I know we had mentioned him when they played Ohio State back in 2009. How great of a game that was. I'm thinking it'll be that game and 10 times more. With how things has changed since then, but. It's tough to pick this game. I mean, you're talking about 2 teams that on paper and when you see them, you seeing everything from seniors to freshmen. You can tell the coaching staffs is putting in that effort. Either team that win this game, I'm not going to choose whichever team win. I feel could get it by a field goal or even a touchdown. It's like looking one of them last possession games, which in 2009, it was kind of like similar to that last team having a ball possess that game. So you're looking at 2 offenses, that's great. 2 defense, that's great. Every level, even special teams is great. So right now, I got my hands tied on a field goal. Either way, I'm going to just choose the field goal.
Yeah. It's a hard one to pick, man. I mean, of course, as a homer, I want it to be the Longhorns, but I really do believe it'll be one heck of a game, man.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's why I say bring it on.
Edge of your seat, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Get out of here watching the game.
Yeah, some firepower.
Yeah.
Some firepower.
All right, so every week I want to try to do this format. We're going to look at the AP Top 25, see how it's shifted. We're going to do the same ranking again with the new teams that might be in it, and then see how it goes. And then we just do the same format again. But I would like to do it on a Thursday as opposed to on a Saturday morning like this.
Okay.
If y'all cool with that.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, cool. All right, bros. I appreciate y'all jumping on, man. If y'all think y'all want to jump on later on today and talk about a little bit of college football, let me know. I'll set it up.
Let's go. I ain't doing nothing right now.
All right.
And I'm from the information I text you yesterday, we'll chop it up more about that City League.
Okay.
Go,
dog!
What's going down?
Oh, nothing much. We just ran down what we think that the playoff would look like according to the AP Top 25 today.
Yeah.
It went pretty smooth. Man, you look like you got on some red, bro. This is.
Yeah, he got on some Buckeye gear. Okay, Poe.
Yeah.
What? What's that, a Ted Ginn jersey?
This yesterday stuff. I'm going in here about to make me a parlay.
Looked like he was down there
Yeah.
tailgating. They don't even play this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, we got Arkansas State, and we're gonna beat up on them.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he better he better beat up on them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like it better not be no struggles.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like no struggles. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Well, we was just wrapping up the show, Paul. So we might jump on later on today. But if we do, I'll throw it in the chat, and then in the
Okay.
queue, so then that way we can get back together again.
Okay, that'll work.
All right, peace, y'all.
I see
Okay,
you.
fellas.
I see you, T1. I
One
see you.
time. Hey, we don't play today, man. I'm rocking with Coach Prime today.
They got Colorado State, right?
Yeah, 3:30.
Yeah. Dude don't like Prime.
Oh, not at all. Not none.
Yeah, he don't like Prime. Yeah,
No,
okay. I'll holler at y'all a little later.
All right, fellas. Peace out.
All right.
All right, peace.